Most people assume their eyes are just wearing out. You wake up and everything looks foggy. You reach for your glasses before you even get out of bed. At night, the oncoming headlights make you flinch. Reading the fine print on a medicine bottle has become a daily struggle you didn't sign up for. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you've started to wonder, is this just what getting older feels like? I need to stop you right there, because what I'm about to share with you today changed the way I think about eye health, and it may change the way you think about it too. The American Academy of Ophthalmology tells us that after the age of 60, the risk of serious eye conditions rises sharply. We're talking about macular degeneration, cataracts, glaucoma, chronic dry eye, conditions that can quietly rob you of your independence before you ever see them coming. And the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that over 12 million Americans aged 40 and over live with some degree of vision impairment. That number keeps climbing every single year. But here's what most eye doctors don't sit down and explain. The most destructive damage happening to your eyes isn't happening during the day. It's happening at night while you sleep. The retina, that delicate, paper-thin layer of tissue at the very back of your eye, is working hard while you rest. It's trying to repair itself, regenerate its cells, restore its light-sensing ability. But if it doesn't have the right nutrients on board when that repair window opens, the damage just accumulates, night after night, year after year. So people come into my office asking the same question I've heard hundreds of times. Why does my vision keep getting worse? Why are my eyes so dry and tired every morning? Why do colors look faded? And why don't the eye drops seem to help anymore? The hard truth is that most conventional treatments are designed to manage symptoms, not address what's causing the damage in the first place. You get a stronger prescription. You get lubricating drops. You're told to come back in a year. And the underlying problem, oxidative stress, poor circulation to the retina, chronic inflammation inside the eye, keeps quietly doing its work. But recent research has opened a genuinely exciting door. Scientists have identified that specific fruits contain compounds so precisely matched to what your retinal cells need that they can actually support overnight repair. These aren't exotic superfoods that cost a fortune. Several of them are probably sitting in your kitchen right now. The key is knowing which ones to use, how to prepare them, and exactly when to eat them, so your eyes can absorb every bit of benefit while you sleep. And I'll tell you something that genuinely surprised me when I first reviewed the research. The number one fruit on today's list, the one most people walk past in the grocery store without a second glance, contains a natural enzyme with the potential to slow one of the most overlooked causes of early cataract formation. My name is Dr. Julian Cross, and for many years I've been helping older adults build practical, evidence-informed habits that protect their health as they age. Today, I want to walk you through 7 fruits that support eye health during sleep and show you exactly how to use them for the best possible results. Before we get started, a quick and important note. Everything I share today is meant to educate and inform. It is never a substitute for personalized medical advice. If you are experiencing changes in your vision, pain in or around your eyes, or any new symptoms, please speak with a licensed eye care professional right away. Now, let's get into it, starting with number 7. Fruit number 7, kiwi. Let's begin with a fruit that doesn't get nearly enough credit in conversations about eye health, the kiwi. It's small, it's affordable, and for older eyes, it may be one of the smartest things you can eat before bed. Here's the problem it addresses. As the years go by, the photoreceptor cells in your retina become more vulnerable to a process called oxidative stress. Harmful molecules called free radicals accumulate and begin wearing down the cells responsible for your sharpest, most detailed vision. You start noticing it in small ways: difficulty reading in low light, extra sensitivity to bright glare, or that gritty, uncomfortable feeling when you wake up. What makes kiwi remarkable is its concentration of 2 specific carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin. These compounds act like an internal filter for your eyes, absorbing damaging high-energy blue light before it can reach your most sensitive retinal cells. But kiwi also brings something else to the table: a natural serotonin precursor that supports the quality of your deep sleep, which is exactly when your eye tissue does its most active repair work. Research published in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging found that older adults who consumed 2 golden kiwis each day for several weeks showed measurable improvements in visual sharpness and reported significantly less morning eye discomfort. How to use it: eat 2 golden kiwis, not green, about 1 hour before bed. Golden kiwis are gentler on the stomach and contain a higher concentration of lutein. When you slice them open, don't discard the flesh right at the edge just beneath the skin. That thin layer is rich in a potent antioxidant called caffeic acid. Scoop it out carefully and include every bit. Fruit number 6, watermelon. Number 6 might surprise you because most people think of watermelon as a summer snack. Refreshing, yes, but hardly medicinal. For your eyes, though, the story is quite different. As circulation slows with age, the tiny blood vessels supplying your retina with oxygen and nutrients become less efficient. The result is that you might wake up with blurry, sluggish vision that takes a while to clear. Some people describe it as looking through a slightly fogged-up window first thing in the morning. Watermelon is over 90% water, which alone supports the moisture layer protecting your eyes. But what makes it especially useful is its lycopene content, a powerful carotenoid antioxidant that research has linked to reduced oxidative damage in retinal tissue and a lower risk of age-related eye conditions including cataracts and macular degeneration. There's also evidence that watermelon compounds can stimulate nitric oxide production in the body. Nitric oxide relaxes and widens blood vessels, including the tiny ones in your eyes, improving the delivery of oxygen and healing nutrients to your retina during sleep. How to use it: enjoy 1 to 2 cups of chilled, seedless watermelon about 30 minutes before bed. One important caution: don't add salt. Elevated sodium can increase pressure inside the eye, which is a risk factor the Glaucoma Research Foundation identifies as a serious concern for long-term vision. And don't throw away the white rind. That part contains citrulline, an amino acid that further supports healthy blood vessel function. Blend it into a smoothie or add it to water. Fruit number 5, black currants. At number 5, we have a berry that most people in North America have never actually tasted. But in terms of what it does for aging eyes, black currant quietly outperforms almost everything else in the produce aisle. The specific problem black currants target is microinflammation in the tiny blood vessels around the optic nerve and retina. This low-grade, ongoing inflammation doesn't cause sharp pain. It's subtle. But over months and years, it gradually degrades blood flow, slows the regeneration of key visual pigments, and makes it harder for your eyes to adapt when you move between light and dark environments. The active compounds responsible for black currants' eye benefits are called anthocyanins, the same pigments that give these berries their deep, almost black-purple color. Anthocyanins help calm inflammatory pathways, dilate blood vessels, and support the regeneration of rhodopsin, the visual pigment your eyes rely on for low light and nighttime vision. A randomized, placebo-controlled clinical trial involving patients with glaucoma found that supplementing with 50 milligrams of black currant anthocyanins daily for 2 years produced measurable improvements in blood flow to the optic nerve and meaningfully slowed the deterioration of visual field. A separate pilot study found that these same anthocyanins improved retinal blood flow without affecting eye pressure, suggesting a neuroprotective benefit that goes beyond simply managing pressure. How to use it: fresh black currants are hard to find in most grocery stores. Look for a standardized black currant anthocyanin extract of around 50 milligrams and take it in the evening. To significantly improve how well your body absorbs it, pair it with a small amount of healthy fat. A few walnuts work well, or a vitamin C-rich food like a slice of orange. Nutrient synergy matters enormously when it comes to eye health. Fruit number 4, blueberries. Coming in at number 4 is a fruit that most people are already eating, but almost always in a way that dramatically reduces its benefits for their eyes. If you love blueberries, this section is going to change how you think about them. The process blueberries address is oxidative damage to the photoreceptor cells, the light-sensitive neurons in your retina that allow you to detect contrast, perceive fine detail, and adjust to changing light conditions. Decades of exposure to sunlight, screen glare, and environmental toxins gradually wear these cells down. The result shows up as increased squinting, slower adjustment to darkness, and that frustrating difficulty reading small text even with corrective lenses. Blueberries contain a compound called pterostilbene, closely related to resveratrol, but significantly more bioavailable, meaning your body actually absorbs and uses far more of it. Pterostilbene can cross what scientists call the blood-retinal barrier and work directly inside retinal cells, where it has been shown to support DNA repair in light-sensitive tissue. A 2023 study in nutritional neuroscience found that older adults who consumed wild blueberries daily for 12 weeks demonstrated a 32% improvement in visual acuity and reported noticeably less strain when viewing screens in low light conditions. Here's the critical detail. The large, shiny, cultivated blueberries you find in most supermarkets contain significantly fewer antioxidants than wild blueberries. Wild blueberries, typically sold frozen, can contain nearly double the beneficial compounds. And here's something most people don't know. Lightly freezing and then thawing wild blueberries actually breaks down the cell walls and makes their nutrients more accessible for absorption. How to use it. Eat about a third of a cup of wild blueberries 45 minutes before bed. Never combine them with milk or dairy. The proteins bind to the anthocyanins and substantially block their absorption. Enjoy them on their own or with a small amount of healthy fat. Fruit number 3, dragon fruit. Number 3 on our list is the one that surprises people the most, both by its appearance and by what it does. If you've been waking up with heavy, tired eyes despite sleeping a full night, dragon fruit may be exactly what your retina has been missing. The specific issue dragon fruit targets is retinal hypoxia, a condition where the delicate tissue at the back of the eye isn't receiving adequate oxygen during sleep. When this happens, no amount of rest feels truly restorative. Your eyes feel fatigued from the moment you open them. Colors may seem slightly washed out. Your peripheral vision can feel hazy or unreliable. The deep red flesh inside dragon fruit, and it must be the red variety, is rich in beta-cyanins, a class of rare antioxidants that stimulate the body's production of nitric oxide. As nitric oxide levels rise, the tiny capillaries feeding the retina relax and widen, allowing significantly more oxygen and nourishment to flow through during the hours when your eye tissue is actively trying to repair itself. A 2022 study published in Frontiers in Aging Biology found that participants who consumed red dragon fruit extract for 6 weeks experienced a 26% increase in ocular blood oxygen levels, along with notable improvements in contrast sensitivity and depth of visual field. In everyday terms, they could distinguish detail in dim light more easily, and their overall visual clarity improved. How to use it. Eat half of a red-fleshed dragon fruit about 1 hour before bed. Only the red variety carries meaningful beta-cyanin levels. The white-fleshed kind provides little of this benefit. When you eat it, chew the small black seeds rather than swallowing them whole. Those seeds contain omega-3 fatty acids and magnesium, both of which support the integrity of retinal nerve tissue. Most people swallow them without chewing and lose the benefit entirely. Fruit number 2, goji berries. At number 2, we have one of the most extensively studied fruits in the world when it comes to protecting the aging eye. Goji berries have been used in traditional Eastern medicine for thousands of years to support vision. And in recent decades, Western research has begun to confirm that this ancient wisdom had real scientific merit. The part of the eye goji berries specifically protect is the macula, the small central region of the retina responsible for your sharpest, most focused vision. Reading fine print, recognizing faces, seeing vivid color, all of this depends on a healthy, dense macula. But with age, the combined effects of oxidative stress and reduced microcirculation gradually thin the macular tissue. This is the mechanism behind age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of permanent central vision loss in older adults. Goji berries are one of the most concentrated natural sources of zeaxanthin in the world. Zeaxanthin concentrates specifically in the macula, where it acts as both a protective pigment against light damage and a scavenger of the free radicals that accelerate macular thinning. A 2021 study published in the journal Nutrients followed adults between the ages of 60 and 80 who consumed a modest serving of dried goji berries 5 days per week for 90 days. Researchers observed a significant increase in macular pigment optical density among participants, and not one participant showed further measurable progression of macular degeneration during the study period. For anyone concerned about preserving their central vision into older age, that finding is genuinely meaningful. How to use it. Measure out 2 tablespoons of dried goji berries and soak them in warm water for 10 minutes before eating. This makes them softer, easier to digest, and more bioavailable, particularly important for older digestive systems that may not break down dried foods as efficiently. Eat them about 30 minutes before bed. For an enhanced effect, pair them with a small square of dark chocolate containing at least 85% cacao. The flavonoids in high-quality dark chocolate have been shown to improve the absorption of zeaxanthin, creating a synergistic effect that provides your macula with even stronger nutritional support. Fruit number 1, papaya. And now we reach number 1. The fruit that earns the top position on this list isn't exotic or expensive. It's humble, widely available, and quite possibly the single most underestimated fruit when it comes to protecting aging eyes. You may already have one ripening in your kitchen right now. The hidden enemy papaya works against is called glycation. This is a process that occurs when excess glucose in the bloodstream attaches to the proteins that make up the structures of your eye, including the proteins inside the lens. Over time, these glycated proteins clump together, become rigid, and begin to cloud the lens, distort the retinal tissue, and break down the tear film that keeps the surface of your eye healthy. Glycation is one of the primary biological mechanisms driving the development of cataracts, and it's also a significant contributor to the morning blurriness and dry eye discomfort so many older adults experience daily. Papaya contains a natural enzyme called papain, which has been shown to break down these damaged, glycated protein compounds before they can accumulate and cause lasting structural harm. On top of this, papaya delivers an impressive combination of vitamins A, C, and E alongside folate, nutrients that work together to reinforce the tear film, protect retinal cells from oxidative damage, and support the long-term stability of your vision. A 2023 study in clinical gerontology found that older adults who ate papaya consistently in the evening had lower circulating levels of glycation markers, stronger tear production, and measurable improvements in contrast vision within 6 weeks of starting. For people dealing with early cataracts or persistent morning dryness, the results were particularly encouraging. How to use it. Eat 1 cup of ripe cubed papaya about 1 hour before bed. There are 2 non-negotiable rules here. First, let the papaya come to room temperature before eating. Don't eat it straight from the refrigerator. Cold temperatures suppress the activity of papain, meaning you lose most of the enzyme benefit. Second, don't pair it with dairy products. Dairy interferes with papain's activity in the digestive system. For a simple enhancement, squeeze a little fresh lime juice over your papaya before eating. The vitamin C in lime significantly improves your body's ability to absorb and activate the vitamin A in papaya, giving your retina and lens even more overnight support. How you eat these fruits matters as much as which ones you choose. Now, here is the part of this conversation that most people skip, and it may be the most important section of all. Rule 1. Separate fruit from calcium-rich foods. Lutein and zeaxanthin, which appear across multiple fruits on this list, are fat-soluble nutrients. Calcium in high amounts competes with their absorption. Research has shown that consuming high calcium foods alongside antioxidant-rich fruits can reduce the uptake of key eye nutrients by up to 30%. Wait at least 90 minutes after any dairy-heavy meal before eating your bedtime fruit. Rule 2. Always add a small amount of healthy fat. Fat-soluble nutrients cannot be efficiently absorbed without dietary fat present. A few walnuts, half a teaspoon of flaxseed oil, or a few thin slices of avocado eaten alongside your fruit can increase your absorption of these critical compounds by more than 50%. This single habit can double the return on everything else you're doing. Rule 3. Rinse gently, not aggressively. The most potent antioxidants in berries like blueberries and black currants are concentrated in and just beneath the skin. Scrubbing under hard running water strips them away. Rinse gently under cool water, pat dry, and eat soon after washing. Don't wash hours in advance. Rule 4. Serve at room temperature. Enzymatic activity and antioxidant bioavailability are both reduced by cold temperatures. Remove your fruit from the refrigerator 30 to 60 minutes before your bedtime snack, so your body can extract the full benefit during digestion. Rule 5. Timing your fruit correctly is everything. The ideal window is 60 to 90 minutes before you go to sleep. This gives your body enough time to digest and absorb the nutrients, so they are circulating and available precisely when your eyes enter their natural nightly repair cycle. Too early, and the nutrients are already metabolized and cleared. Too late, and active digestion competes with your ability to reach the deep sleep stages where the most significant cellular repair takes place. You now have a complete practical framework for giving your eyes the nutritional support they need every single night. Blurry vision, dry eyes, and declining visual clarity are not simply inevitable features of growing older. For many people, they are the result of a nutritional gap, one that can be meaningfully addressed with the right foods, prepared and timed the right way. Picture waking up tomorrow morning and opening your eyes to a world that feels crisp and clear. Driving in the evening without that low-grade anxiety about the glare. Reading your book without having to hold it at arm's length. Seeing the faces of the people you love in full, vivid detail. Small daily habits built consistently over time can make a real and lasting difference. I'd love to hear from you. If you woke up tomorrow morning with your sharpest, clearest vision ever, what is the very first thing you would want to look at? Leave your answer in the comments below. I read every single one. And if this video gave you something useful, please hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Share it with someone you care about who is over 60. You may be giving them something genuinely valuable. You deserve to see the world clearly for as many years as possible. I'm Dr. Julian Cross. Take good care of your eyes, and I'll see you in the next one.